I want you to stop making these basic mistakes with your driver because it's really hindering how far you can hit the ball. I want you to do this instead. Right, so 3 very basic driver stance setup issues that can really hinder how you play, that you need to get down before you're going to move forward in your game. Right, so let's get into it. So the first one is ball position. Ball position when we're hitting driver is so important. And where should it be? Okay, so we all know that it's got to be forward in your stance. You're not going to play it back in your stance because if you come through, that's going to give you a steep angle of attack and then you're going to hit down on the ball. Most people know to put the ball forward in your stance, and it's important. So I'm going to give you the credit to say that you know that, but you don't want to put it too far forward in your stance. So address there. I often see people with the ball sort of level with their toes or just level with the outside of their foot there, thinking that that's the right thing to do. Now, you can do that, and if that works for you, then it's perfectly fine, but it could cause issues. One of the big issues is angle of attack. It can make you hit down on the ball. Okay, so just think about that. So putting the ball forward in your stance can make a golfer hit down on it, and that's probably the most common thing that I'm going to see. And the reason for that is simple. So if the ball is too far forward in the stance, as they swing, they have to laterally move over into the left-hand side there. So as you've done that, chest gets forward of the ball, that's going to make the club deliver at a steep angle attack. So you've put the ball forward in your stance, you know that you're going to tee it up really high. I know I've got it off the ground there, but that doesn't matter. But you're going to tee the ball up really high, and then you've still got a steep angle attack because you've put the ball further forward in your stance. Just going to cause you issues. The other thing is that as you do that, if I put the ball too far forward in my stance there, that's going to throw my shoulder alignment out. You can see that my shoulders are going to point a long way left. So then angle of attack, I've got out to in swing path. I'm standing there setting up for a fade. So we've all seen it. So the correct thing to do is to get that right. So what does it look like to do it right? And this is dead basic, but a lot of people forget it or they don't want to do this over time. Start with your feet together so that your feet are level to where the ball is there. Left foot a little bit, open up the foot there. Right foot a lot. Okay, so nice and wide there. So as it comes set up, that ball position is nicely inside the left heel. That's the right spot for it. That's going to give you the optimal angle of attack and help to hit the drives. Right, so the second thing that I'm going to see where people get it wrong is stance width, and specifically being too narrow. Now, I think that this results from people being lazy as they're standing to the golf ball. And the issue is that as they stand there and walk, you often see sort of posture, stance, walk up to it like they would walk up to anything, set down, there you go, there's my posture, there's my stance, and that's how wide I'm going to stand. Because that's, and then, you know, feet roughly shoulder width apart, whatever. And that's too narrow. So the problem that you're going to have is your stance is too narrow, it affects your turn, your rotation, and your ability to load and create power. Also, the arms tend to break down. So if you're a person that stands there, swings, gets that going, left arm breaking down, not a lot of turn going on there, not a lot of force being generated, that's going to result in a weak shot. You know, got to get the club going across your body, got to get the hit down on it, you're going to get those low launching, high spinny drives. Just isn't going to work. So you've got to get you've got to get stance width right. And what it should look like, so we go back to the original drill feet together, there we go. We want to get roughly the inside of your feet level with the outside of your shoulders. Okay, so there, roughly that. That's probably going to feel quite wide to a lot of people, but that is the correct width. That's going to reduce the amount of lateral movement that you get in your swing, and it's going to allow you to turn much more efficiently and deliver the club with a bit more power and consistency and make you a better driver. So the third point would be where to put your weight in relation to your stance. So often, like I said, so we go through the 3 things there. So we get the ball in the right position, we're standing the correct width apart, so our feet are in the right position here, but then what should it look like now? Now, a lot of people, as they set up, they're going to be favouring that right hand side a lot at address. So probably 60, 70, maybe even 80% of the weight on the right hand side. issue with that is that as you stand there and swing, you can move away from it a little bit more, arms break down. It's not a good position. You've got to feel the ground a little bit. So if you watch any of your long drivers, and probably someone like Carl Berkshire would be a great example, that as he's standing there, he's very much like this. He's up and down on the ground, feeling where the ground is. The ground's really, really important. And actually, at address, a little bit of a pressure shift into your left-hand side is a good thing. Because then, as I stand there and swing, if I set up there at my address position with my weight favouring ever so slightly to my left-hand side, my initial move is to then move away and shift my weight into the right-hand side, get to the top of the backswing. Then you can start getting that pressure back into the left-hand side, up and out of the way. And that's using the ground, and that's going to generate force. So at address, just ever so slightly favour the left-hand side of the body. Don't push all the weight out into the right-hand side at address, because that could cause you issues. So set yourself up, we know, nice and wide, ball position's in the right place. I'm just feeling the pressure in my left-hand side a little bit, and then I'm going to swing. Put all of that together and it should look something like this. But if you're serious about working on your game this winter and want to improve, and you want to stop making some basic pitching mistakes, make sure that you check that out of that video.